Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. And this is the Avios Super Tucano sent to me by HobbyKing for review. Let's take it up and have some fun with it. Check his gear out. Isn't that cool? That frog's talking to us. All right, let's take it out there. All right, real quick, before we take it up, why don't you look at this plane? How mean it looks. I think it's just mean looking. All right, let's take it up. All right, going to take up Super Tucano.
Moto is angry.
Hi.
Don't let it bite you.
Listen.
Moto is so very chill. Touch it. Moto is angry. Don't let it bite you.
All right. Turn around here. Sorry, Mama had to work, so you got to put up with me in the hat cam. But there is not. Real quick, look at my flags. Look at my flags down there. Not a breath of wind. So we'll definitely be using flaps today. HobbyKing, I want to thank you for sending this Tucano, Super Tucano out for review. I'm absolutely loving this thing. This is actually the, I think this is the third or fourth time. I think it's the fourth time I've ever brought it out here to fly. And I would have flown it 3 or 4 times each time I brought it out. So what is this, the 12th flight maybe? 12th time in the air, something like that? I really don't know. All I know is that it is absolutely awesome. Timer set for 6 minutes, running an HRB 5000.
Flaps are, the gear is tucked away.
Now in the gaming world, when you say something is OP, that means overpowered. This plane here is just that, overpowered, which is good. Get you out of trouble quick.
Take off landing flaps. Time remaining 5 minutes. The gear is down.
I know I'm a long way off right now. I've never really got to test the landing flaps out because it's always been so windy.
Braking. Cruise mode.
All right.
Flaps are up.
All right, we're going to pause for just a moment. All right, we're back. I went in there and increased the down elevator mix on my flaps because I want to see, because she kept rising so much with the flaps. So we're going to see, but we'll share all that afterwards. Now, normally, if I just flew for me and I wasn't sharing my settings and everything with other people, then I would do flight modes. They're so much easier. But so many people don't want to do flight modes. They don't want to learn how to do flight modes. And so therefore, I like to do the work and work out the mix so that I can share the mix with you. But if it was just me, I would do flight modes. Take off flaps now.
Flaps are up.
I gotta tell you, I like the takeoff flaps because she lifted right off on her own now.
Landing flaps. Time remaining 4
All right,
minutes.
just a little bit of rise, but not bad with landing flaps. So I could increase it a little bit more.
The gear is down.
Flying around with my flaps down, which is actually kind of hard on the hinges. But I'm not going super fast. But
Flaps are up.
all right.
Landing flaps.
I like that.
Braking. Cruise mode. Flaps are up.
Now, when you switch from forward thrust to normal thrust, give it a second. Don't just do it quickly. You'll kind of confuse the ESC. All right, I want to show you. I'm going to just try to take off now without any elevator input, and then I'll know that my takeoff flap is perfect.
Takeoff flaps.
Okay. Yeah,
Flaps
perfect.
are up.
Perfect.
Time. The gear is tucked away.
I didn't use any elevator. You just have to trust me. Didn't use any elevator. Man, what a beautiful plane. All right, let me show you that she'll snap roll. See?
The gear is down. Time remaining 2 minutes.
I'll land this time with no gear. Or no, no gear. We're going to land this time with no flaps. How about that? But not a breath of wind either. A little juke and jive there on the runway. I'll be honest, I got an 8-channel receiver, 8-channel Spectrum receiver. And if I can land like that, you know, with no wind and that kind of an approach, and I can keep it on the runway, I don't need thrust reverse. And I have disengaged the nose wheel gyro. I don't need it. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that 8-channel receiver out and put it in one of my jets where I do need thrust reverse and I do need the nose wheel gyro, and just put a 6-channel Spectrum receiver in this.
Takeoff flaps.
Because I don't think it needs thrust reverse. Okay, I really don't. And I don't need the nose wheel gyro because it does just fine.
Flaps are up. The gear is tucked away.
This is just, Avios, you have done such a good job with this plane. You really have.
Landing flaps.
You have done your homework. On what makes a great flying foam plane.
1 minute. Flaps are up.
All right, we're going to do that same landing again with no wind at all, not a breath of wind.
The
And
gear is down.
I'm going to show that you don't need, if you properly use I'm not going to use any flaps, and I'm not going to use any reverse thrust. No wind at all. Little juke and jive a little bit. I'm just going back and forth. That just slows it down. No flaps, no reverse thrust, no wind. So I don't even need flaps. So honestly, 5 channels is all I need. So I'm going to change receivers. All right. Give me 35 seconds left. Let's go up one more time. One more time, and we'll do a third landing like that just to, give you another test. All right, be no flap takeoff, no flap landing.
30 seconds. Twenty seconds.
Man, them lights are so bright. I can see them clearly. That's got to be one of the most amazing RC planes I've ever flown in my life. No flaps, no reverse thrust, no wind. And I almost used only 3/4 of the runway. Of course, I touched down right down there at the end. Most amazing. I think it's about one of the most amazing RC planes I've ever owned.
Motor is very chill. Touch it.
So very chill, touch it. Look at this plane. Just look at this thing. Man. Absolutely incredible. All right, let's take it back to the bench. We'll talk about it. All righty. Put my fat guy flies RC hat on. All right, let's get you a battery report first. All right, we had 5 seconds left on a 6-minute timer. Okay, let me dig out the battery lead here. And we got 34% left, so that's perfect. To show you where I have that battery for placement, I've got that 5,000 as far forward as I can possibly get it. All right, now let's talk about the CG, how that translates to CG. Okay. Sorry, I got my back to you. CG on this plane is 70 to 80 millimeters back from the leading edge root, and I've got my fingers right between the two, and she CG's basically perfect, almost perfectly level, right between that 70 and that 80. All right, let me get the plane turned where you can see my flaps and everything. All right, that way you can look at them. Let me look at the camera real quick and make sure you can see them. Oh yeah, you can see them. All right, let's talk about our flaps right off the bat. What I ended up with, I do like on landing flaps to be a small amount of rise, just a little bit, okay? That's just my own preference. And the reason I like that is because when I'm coming in, I got the gear and I'm already coming down, I want that little more positive control, okay? It's just how I like it. But the settings that I used, that I ended up with, because today's a perfect day to test flaps with no wind at all. Flaps up on Spectrum, 2-second deployment, are negative 100%. Takeoff flaps, which were perfect, were a 0% with 10% down elevator mix. Landing are 100% with a 22% down elevator mix. Watch that elevator.
Takeoff flaps. Flaps are up.
All right. Now, talk about the rates I flew at. I flew at my higher rates. Rates on this plane, simple. 100% throws, 30% expo on, 115 on the elevator. And 100% and 40% on the rudder. Okay, so 100%, 30% expo on Aileron, 115 with 30% expo on the elevator, and then 100% with 40% expo on the rudder. Okay, let's talk about forward programming. Motor cut is on, or motor cut's off, or motor cut is on, so the motor don't work. Gains are set at 1-time sensitivity. All right, my gains are 35, 40, and 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Priority at 120 on roll, 130 on pitch, 140 on yaw. Heading, I didn't do anything with. Stop lock, 50, 50, 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. The release rate, I don't mess with that. That's 55, 55, 75, and the gains are at the 1-time sensitivity. I don't have the nose wheel gyro engaged. I'm not even going to use one. And I'm going to put a 6-channel receiver in here instead because I don't think it needs thrust reverse, and I don't think I need the nose wheel gyro. So 6-channel is all I need, and that's what I'm going to convert to. Use my 8-channel and something else. But there you go. I mean, yes, it has thrust reverse. It's very effective, but I've already shown you 3 or 4 times. I landed no wind and no flaps and kept it on the runway. My runway is 210 feet. Now, if you have a shorter runway, okay, maybe you want to have the 7th channel for thrust reverse. And the nose wheel gyro, she's got wide gear. It doesn't really, it seems to track just fine, okay? So I don't think the nose wheel gyro is all that needed at this point. So, all right, well, there you go. We had 5 seconds left on that timer. I gave you a battery report already. This is the Freewing. This is the Avios Super Tucano sent to me by HobbyKing, and it is just one mean looking plane. Absolutely. I wish it had that light on both sides, but I understand this is how the actual plane is. Just phenomenal flying plane. Watch Two Brothers review on it. Rarely does he go on and on about how great a plane is out of the box. And I've had some people, viewers, talk about concerns about the servos on this. Let me tell you something. If Two Brothers gives you the seal of approval and they're happy with the stock servos, that's saying something, because he normally likes to take them out and get real expensive, high-tech, heavy-duty servos on most of his planes. He was pleased with these servos. He was very pleased with them. So if he's pleased, I'm going to be pleased. Folks, thank you for watching. God bless y'all. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, God is good. HobbyKing, thank you so much. And that's the Super Tucano. We'll see y'all later.